Hello, so in this video I'm going to talk about the principle of buy back your time, and I'm going to answer the question how to make more money without working more in the context of a business. And for this I'm going to refer to a book called Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell. And Dan Martell spent a lot of time studying how billionaires like Russell Brunson or Tony Robbins build their empire and how they buy back that time to grow their business. And he's applying this principle himself. He's a very successful entrepreneur. And he wrote this book. It's very well explained. And I wanted to sort of explain with a drawing how to actually implement this. So there's going to be 3 steps in this. But first, I want to introduce an imaginary business with 3 people in it. It's going to be easier. This is our business. So business can be broken down into inputs. So here, the input is what you put in the machine. So the working hours. So here we have 120 hours per week, 40 hours each. The process is what people do. So the recurring actions. So when we talk about processes in a business, typically we're talking about, hiring and training the staff, bookkeeping, compliance, marketing, sales, client onboarding, delivery of services. Those are the key processes, the activities that we do that makes the business a business, right? And then the output is the revenue generated. So here, in our example, we generated $4,000 per week. So I don't know, that could be like a shop or a bakery or this type of business or e-commerce service. So we have 3 people in it. And the first step to buy back your time is to audit people's time. And here we're going to start with the owner, the most, in this case, we're going to say the most skilled member of the team, which in this team structure, usually it's the owner. And we're going to audit their time and their energy, actually. So it's called a time and energy audit. This, matrix comes from the book. I love it. It's what I love about this matrix is that it's not just about whether an activity is high leverage or low leverage. Like it's also about the energy, as in whether it drains your energy when you do this activity or it lights you up. Because the game of business is, or the game of work is ideally what we want is just to spend our time doing what we want and feeling free and feeling in a state of flow. That's amazing, right? It's not just about whether it makes money or not. So if you do activity that lights you up all day long, then you sort of win the game, right? So we're going to assess every activity, every task, and put them into these quadrants. And here, what we want to focus on is the two most important quadrants are the activities that drain your energy and doesn't make you a lot of money. And this has to be delegated now, like it's urgency, because oftentimes you keep doing it just out of habit or because you want to have some sort of control on it. And you believe it doesn't take that much time. So typically like booking flights and hotel, fixing the printer, scheduling calls and meeting, email management. But the problem is that if it drains your energy, it's costing you much more than what you think it's costing you. And even in time, like sometimes we don't realize, but booking a flight, can take up to 20 or 30 minutes. Sometimes it's crazy. So it's really important to delegate this, to free up your mind to do high leverage activities and to stay in a state where you feel in flow and you're enjoying yourself and you get more creative and you have this high energy. And so, right. So first, delegating this, and then this quadrant, the goal is to spend as much time as possible here, right? Because this is what lights you up. You love doing it. And makes you a lot of money. So that could be depending on what you like and your zone of genius. Could be serving clients, doing sales calls, or podcast interviews like content production. when you shoot a video or you invited to a podcast and I don't know, it's being viewed by 100,000 people, over the following years, it has a massive impact. In just 1 hour, you impacted 100,000 people. It's crazy. So this is where you want to spend your time, especially if you love doing it. If you don't love doing it that much, like it drains your energy. So for example, it could be hiring or doing the actual service for your clients or performance management. If that's not your thing, then we're going to put them in a replacement quadrant. So it means it has to be delegated at some point, but it's going to take a bit more time and a bit more care to do it because it's a high leverage activity and it brings a lot of money, right? So we have to be careful about this. The last quadrant is the investment quadrant. So those are activities that light you up, but doesn't bring that much money, at least not in the short term, right? So it's basically your life, like just your time with friends and family, holidays, stuff like this. Reading a book, going to a conference, educating yourself, that is super important, but the impact is not always immediate, right? So, okay, so we audit the time, and the second step is to transfer the task. So once you've audited your time, we've got this is a representation of this person's week. So if there is $3, it means it makes a lot of money, and if it's green, it means it lights you up, right? So the goal, as we said, is to delegate this quadrant first, those activities. So the activity of buying back your time is to literally take this activity. This is the week, right? So this is Monday and this is morning and afternoon. So let's say in this imaginary week, this person is spending his Wednesday afternoon doing low leverage activities like paperwork, admin. So you have to take these activities and give it to someone else that actually enjoy doing it. So in our case, okay, it looks like there's no capacity, but there's always time. You can find time. And so you're going to give this activity to this person. And when you give it to this person because he loves it, it's going to turn into green. Because, he loves it. I said it already. Great. And then the last step is to let's do it. So now you have more free time. And the goal is to fill your time with a higher leverage activity, right? With an activity that makes you more money. So here our week is a bit, it looks more green and there's more $3 signs everywhere. So it's a better state. So just by transferring tasks and filling your time with higher leverage activities, we've managed to increase the output, without even changing the inputs. We're still working 40 hours per week, but people are just not doing the same task. And we've just reallocated the task so that it matches people's skills level and energy level, right? So in this context, I imagine that the people had 3 different levels of skills, and this person being the most skilled. Right, and the end goal, the vision, right, is to have people that spend all their time doing activity that light them up, and that brings the most amount of money based on their level of skills. And when you do this, you can, hire new people to free up even more of your time. So it's like a continuous process. You have a new hire that takes on the work. You can hire at different level. You can hire just to buy back your time on activities, low leverage activities, or to replace yourself on higher leverage activities, right? And by doing this process, you're going to increase your outputs, by hiring strategically, so that people's time is well allocated. So that's it. That's a principle. A few principles of this buy back your time idea. is to realize that your work, what you consider work and painful work, is someone else's game, someone else's joy. Like some people love booking flights, some people love doing bookkeeping, and that's the beauty of life. Like we all love different things. That's how we get to get along. And yeah, I hired to buy back my time, right? So to decide who's going to be the next hire, you need to audit your time to think, strategically about who you actually need. And then the third one is it's not just about time; it's about energy. Because here we're not only just saving time; it's like the entire energy of the person shifts when they don't have to do activities that they don't like. So it's very important to have this in mind. That's it. So I hope that was useful for you. If you need any help with that, please ask question or feel free to reach out. For context, my name is Alexis, and I'm the CEO and founder of at Obsinflow. And what we do is that we help seven figures business owners build a leadership infrastructure they can afford so that they can scale their business exponentially and regain their time and freedom without taking financial risk and with minimum stress. So it's all about helping business owners going from a state where they've built the business up to a level where it's over dependent on them. There is no structure, and building the structure so that they can reconnect to their vision and leverage a leadership team that will actually build a business. So that's what we do. Feel free to reach out if you need any help with that, and I hope that was useful. Thank you. Bye bye.